They say silence speaks louder than words, and in Season 20, Episode 5, that silence became deafening. Christine Brown finally admits she and Janelle haven't talked in a while. A simple sentence, but it sent shockwaves through Sister Wives Nation. Days later, a casual joke from David Woolley turned that quiet tension into a public storm. And just as fans caught their breath, Aurora Brown went on a date that set off a family-wide meltdown. But what started as silence would soon erupt into something no one, not even Kody, could control. 3 moments, 1 episode, and the unraveling of everything the Browns once stood for. Was this the moment Christine finally chose peace over family? Part 1. To understand this heartbreak, we have to go back before the fame, before the cameras. When Christine and Janelle entered the Brown family, their connection was instant. They weren't just co-wives. They were allies, 2 women navigating a complex life under one man's authority. Christine once called Janelle her rock, the calm voice when Kody's tempers flared and family chaos grew too loud. Christine, 2013. Janelle and I balance each other. She's logical, I'm emotional. Together, we make sense. For over a decade, fans watched their bond grow stronger through pregnancies, shared cooking, even the endless family moves. They built their own friendship that often stood apart from Kody. But while their friendship looked unshakable on TV, quiet cracks were forming off-camera. After Christine left Kody in 2021, many thought Janelle would follow. And she did, but not in the way anyone expected. They appeared united, 2 women, reclaiming freedom, sisterhood, and peace. But as their independent lives grew, something else began to fade. Communication. Christine moved on, found love, and remarried. Janelle focused on rebuilding her financial independence. The once daily calls stopped. The spontaneous visits gone. Christine's 2025 confession. We just haven't talked much lately. Life happens. We're in different places. But Christine's calm tone couldn't hide the emotion behind her eyes, and fans saw it instantly. So what really happened between Christine and Janelle? Sources close to the family hint at deeper issues, financial disagreements, emotional exhaustion, and even jealousy from their diverging lives. They were the only genuine friendship left. It hurts to see it fade like this. Christine's new marriage introduced new priorities, new routines, and according to some, new distance. Meanwhile, Janelle's quiet nature meant she retreated into solitude rather than confrontation. It wasn't a fight. It was a neglect, emotional neglect. They just stopped showing up for each other. But behind that emotional distance, one shocking truth remained, one that Christine never said publicly, until now. In a recent off-camera podcast appearance, Christine finally admitted what fans had suspected. She felt abandoned by Janelle during her breakup from Kody. Christine's, "When I needed someone to just be there, she wasn't. I don't blame her, but it changed things." For Christine, it wasn't betrayal, it was heartbreak, the kind that comes not from enemies, but from friends who quietly fade away. And as fans replayed her words, the internet lit up not with anger, but heartbreak. The Sister Wives fandom split overnight. Team Christine, Team Janelle, but both sides agreed on one thing: this wasn't just drama, it was grief. Christine grew, and Janelle couldn't follow. Janelle's loyal, but she's tired. They both survived Kody. Maybe now they just need space. Meanwhile, Robyn and Kody stayed silent, leaving fans to speculate whether their continued family influence played a part in this quiet divide. And then a single Instagram story reignited everything. That one post sent fans spiraling. Was it a goodbye to Janelle? Weeks later, Christine appeared at an event in Utah, smiling, radiant. When asked if she'd spoken to Janelle, her answer shocked everyone. Christine's, "We texted recently. It was nice, maybe not the same, but still love." It wasn't the reunion fans dreamed of, but it was real. Two women, survivors of the same storm, still connected by something deeper than distance. Maybe the bond between Christine and Janelle was never meant to stay the same. Maybe it's meant to evolve from shared pain to separate peace. So what do you think? Did fame, love, or freedom tear Christine and Janelle apart? Drop your thoughts below. Part 2. For years, viewers watched the Browns fight for unity against jealousy, distance, and heartbreak. But as new marriages formed and old wounds reopened, the peace never lasted long. Now, in 2025, that fragile balance has collapsed. Christine's remarriage to David Woolley brought fresh laughter and new friction. Janelle, independent yet isolated, tries to rebuild her rhythm. And Kody, still promising a family reunion that never happens. But when David's teasing joke landed the wrong way, it exposed more than just humor. It exposed pride, power, and pain. It began innocently. The family gathered outdoors, laughter in the air. Christine's new husband, David Woolley, playfully told Janelle she shouldn't take up farming to keep busy. But fans saw something Christine didn't. A flicker of irritation in Janelle's eyes. A line crossed. A woman tired of being told what she should be. David's joke hasn't funny. Janelle deserves respect, not mockery. Sister wives. Behind the humor lay history, years of Janelle being the quiet worker, the practical backbone, overshadowed by louder voices. And this time, she didn't laugh. What looked like harmless teasing became the spark for a hidden feud between Janelle and Christine's new world. While Christine and David's joy stirred new tension, Kody faced his own storm, a storm of indecision. Episode 5 captured a frustrated patriarch, delaying plans for yet another family reset. Fans watched as he offered excuses, while everyone else moved forward. Kody's plans are just smoke. He can't control what he lost, so he stalls. The women are thriving without him, that's why he delays. Every delay deepened resentment. Christine stopped caring, Janelle stopped waiting, and even Robyn, usually quiet, looked exhausted. But amid all this chaos, one person's story would steal the spotlight: Aurora. In the same episode, a surprising subplot unfolded. Aurora, Robyn's daughter, went on a date. Viewers were stunned. For years, Aurora was the quiet, emotional heart of Robyn's household, always protective, always sheltered. But this time, she stepped out of her mother's shadow. Aurora on a date? Finally! She's finding her own life outside the drama. Yet the man she met wasn't what fans expected. Younger, independent, and according to insiders, not approved by Kody. That one dinner date would reopen old wounds about control, trust, and parenting, and remind everyone that Robyn's world isn't as peaceful as it looks. By the end of episode 5, the Brown family wasn't just split. They were fractured along invisible lines. Janelle felt humiliated. Kody felt ignored. Christine was caught between laughter and guilt. And Robyn, torn between her husband's pride and her daughter's heart. Social media exploded. Fans accused Kody of controlling behavior, David of insensitivity, and Robyn of emotional manipulation. Kody's still the puppet master. David's not reading the room. Aurora's finally free. Let her live. But the biggest surprise came days later when Christine addressed the farming joke herself. "Christine, David meant well, but I didn't realize Janelle was hurt. We'll talk, we always do." It was a brief statement, but it hinted at something deeper: regret. Episode 5 wasn't just another chaotic week in the Brown household. It was a turning point, a reminder that even outside polygamy, old patterns linger. David's humor, Kody's delays, Aurora's independence. 3 moments, 1 message. The Brown family is no longer bound by one man's plan. It's the end of the old sister-wives era and the start of something unpredictable, raw and real. What did you think of episode 5? Was David out of line or just playful? Is Kody losing control or planning his comeback? And what about Aurora? Will her new love survive the family chaos? Comment your thoughts below. Let's deep dive in full details. Part 3. To understand how this fracture began, you have to go back to when Christine and Janelle weren't just co-wives. They were survivors in a system that demanded sacrifice. Through every move, every pregnancy, every fight, they leaned on each other while Kody's focus drifted elsewhere. For over a decade, fans saw a sisterhood that outlasted the man at its center. But when Christine walked away from Kody in 2021, that bond was tested, and it would never be the same again. After Christine's bold exit, Janelle's world changed. She admired Christine's courage, even envied her freedom. But independence came with silence. Fewer calls, fewer visits, fewer smiles. Christine's 2025 confession. We haven't really talked much in a while. Life happens, and we're just in different places now. It wasn't anger, it was absence. The kind of distance that creeps in quietly, until one day, it's permanent. I can't believe Christine and Janelle drifted apart. They were the heart of the show. But Christine's heartbreak wasn't the episode's only shock. Just when fans thought the emotional storm had settled, David Woolley's joke lit the match. During a casual outdoor gathering, David Woolley laughed and said, "Janelle should take up farming, it'll keep her busy." To some, it was harmless teasing, but to longtime fans, it was something else entirely, a crack in the new family's harmony. That wasn't funny. Janelle deserves better than being the butt of a joke. She's worked harder than anyone. Christine tried to laugh it off, but Janelle didn't. She stood quiet, her silence louder than any argument. And while the cameras cut away, fans were left wondering, had Christine's new happiness come at Janelle's expense? Meanwhile, Kody Brown was in his own spiral. For weeks, he'd promised a family meeting a chance to rebuild. But like so many of his plans, it never came. "We'll plan it soon," Kody says, rubbing his temples. "Timing's not right." Timing, it seems, has never been right for Kody. While he delayed, the women moved on, and so did their children. In the middle of all this chaos, one storyline slipped under the radar until it didn't. Aurora Brown, the quiet, loyal daughter, went on her first public date. Fans celebrated her independence, but inside the Brown household, it sparked a new kind of storm. Aurora's growing up, while Kody's still trying to control everyone. It's poetic. The episode aired and the internet exploded. Within hours, #Team Janelle and #Team Christine were trending. Fans dissected every word, every glance, every pause. YouTube comment: David's farming joke, the new knife in the kidneys moment. Reddit thread title: Aurora's date was the most real moment this season. For the first time in years, Sister Wives wasn't just entertainment. It was emotional reflection. Women across America saw themselves in Christine's freedom, Janelle's isolation, and Aurora's rebellion. But the biggest twist wasn't on screen. It came days later in Christine's response. After a week of silence, Christine posted a simple message on Instagram: "Some friendships are quiet right now, and that's okay." Then came the reveal. Christine and Janelle had texted a brief exchange, simple but healing. Christine: "We talked a bit. It's not the same, but there's still love, always love." That line, "still love," marked the quiet resolution fans didn't expect. Not explosive, not dramatic, just human. Kody remains distant. David laughs it off. Aurora continues to find her own path. But the women, as always, carry the emotional heart of this story. Because in the end, Sister Wives was never about polygamy. It was about survival, reinvention, and women learning to live on their own terms. When Christine announced her split in 2021, People magazine called it a cultural reset for reality TV families. Reddit threads exploded overnight. Christine finally chose herself. For fans who had watched this family since 2010, it felt personal, like seeing your own sister finally walk away from pain. Back then, polygamy wasn't just marriage, it was management. Janelle, the business mind, ran finances while Christine carried the emotional load. When Kody courted Robyn, that balance cracked. In season 14, Janelle sighed, "I'm tired of trying to make Kody happy." In season 16, Christine whispered, "I can't live like this anymore." Their bond became a mirror for women everywhere, two opposite personalities holding the same silent exhaustion. Christine's Utah home became her sanctuary, bright, free, filled with laughter. Meanwhile, in Arizona, Janelle's life turned practical, grounded, and lonely. Watching Janelle reminds me of my mom rebuilding after divorce. Time stretched. A month turned into a season. The calls stopped coming. Two women healing in opposite directions, and neither realizing how far they'd drifted. Let's replay that moment. David laughs. Christine giggles. Janelle folds her arms. The smile falters. Sometimes jokes carry truth, a relationship therapist commented on TikTok. That joke landed where old pain still lived. On Christine's Instagram, one fan wrote, "You've changed, but don't forget who stood by you first." Another replied, "It's growth, not betrayal." Once held weight, now it hangs like a shadow. "In past seasons," he boasted, "I'm the head of this family." But episode 5 shows a man waiting for control that's already gone. While he stalled, Aurora moved forward. Her first date symbolized what this entire family refuses to confront, that the children are rewriting their parents' story. For Robyn, the moment was bittersweet pride laced with fear. For fans, it was poetic justice. Entertainment Tonight called it the most talked about episode since Christine left. Twitter threads dissected every frame. David's joke mirrored Kody's sarcasm. Aurora's date scene was symbolic of generational healing. Podcast hosts debated if TLC edited the scenes to amplify gender contrast, the free husband versus the controlling ex. Days after the episode, Christine posted a sunrise photo. Peace doesn't always mean together. Janelle liked the post quietly. No comment, no caption. For fans, that single tap became a symbol of closure. Sociologists have even begun studying the sister wives phenomenon as a modern parable of female autonomy, how televised polygamy evolved into narratives of independence. Maybe Sister Wives was never about one man and 4 wives. Maybe it was always about 4 women and how silence became their loudest form of strength. So what do you think? Was David's joke harmless or hurtful? Is Kody finally losing his grip on the family he once ruled? And will Christine and Janelle ever find their way back to each other? Drop your thoughts below Team Christine, Team Janelle, or Team Aurora. Hit like if you believe in second chances. Subscribe for weekly Sister Wives deep dives, behind-the-scenes truths, and Season 20 analysis.